Okay, gonna have another swing at this one. Tried to do this before, but I saved it in the wrong file format and I couldn't edit it, so we'll try this again. Right, so this is the Game Golf homepage on the internet, not on the app. So if you go to Insights, probably the best way to do it. So it shows you kind of a snapshot of your last round versus your last 3 rounds. So that's your strokes gained or lost depending on in different categories. So it gives you like just a rough idea of like, fair enough, yeah, you might not have scored well, or you did score well, but you scored well, but your short game was terrible, or you scored well, or you scored badly, but your off the tee was better than before, and kind of stuff like that. Just gives you an idea. So it gives you your game golf handicap. So my handicap is 16.4. My game golf handicap is 14.4. So I think there's no buffers on this as far as I'm aware. So it does just change instantly after each round. So it gives you an idea of where you are in more of a kind of a live version. So this is a little kind of a digital display of where you were versus your last few rounds. So like it shows you like your trajectories or your landing zones from 100 yards, from 150 yards, and then plus 100 yards. So like that shows you that I didn't actually get anything in that area. So I didn't from 100 plus 150 yards, from 150 yards plus, I didn't actually get one on the green. So that's why that looks like that. It shows you you're off the tee, misses right, misses left, your kind of average distances, and your putts per hole, greens and regulation, scrambling, and driver distance. So like it's cool because it shows you like the putts per hole for me is very important because I do see myself as potentially a very good putter. I have obviously bouts of just not practicing enough, so therefore I lose a lot of confidence. But I would see myself as a very good putter, so I really need to get this number down. That number is ridiculous for me. 2.1, my average in the last 3 rounds. Like that should be down at 1.6, 1.5. Like I should be, one putting and two putting the odd time, not threes and fours and stuff like that. Like that's very, very poor. So that's the kind of just a general overview. So you can view insights. So this is your strokes gained versus a scratch golf. So as you can see, like the approach play is just horrendous compared to a scratch golfer. So if I compare myself to another game golf 15 handicap, you can see where I'm up and down. So like that shows you that I'm not consistent. So I'm still like I'm gaining shots in my approach and my short game. I'm losing shots in my off the tee and my putts. So like that just shows you that like another game golf 15 handicap is struggling with approach and struggling with short game a little bit, but is very confident with putts and stuff like that. So if we go into off the tee, so this will be okay. So this is what all clubs, all rounds. So as you can see, the majority are over here, the denser area here on the right hand side. So if you look at my driver, I'm way over here all the time. So they're lost, those balls there. And then if you look at last 5 rounds. Now, if you look at last 5 rounds, that was me trying to work on stuff. So I still had a lot of waved ones. But if you look at my last 3 rounds, which have been driving the ball a lot better, it's more in and around the center. Like if you mean like that one there, I can nearly tell you where that was. Yeah, like that was like a yard, less than a yard off the green, off the fairway, and it was still like fairway ball, I would call it, because it was like sitting lovely. It wasn't like in thick rough or anything like that. Same as that one there. I can remember that one. Yeah, hole 12. That was the same one. That was just off. You know what I mean? That was not an issue for me. That was a very good drive. That was a fantastic drive. So I want to get my averages from the other video, and you look at my battle board. I want to get my fairway hits 50%, but from the like looking at 10 rounds and together, not just three, because obviously you can have three really good ones, three really bad ones. Your ratios go all out. So if we look at, so that's where I want to improve. That's why I feel like I'm kind of clawing something back and getting improvements. Um, approach the green um, inside 100 yards, fairly confident. If you look at the last 5 rounds, like accuracy wise, like they were just very poor shots. Accuracy wise, I'm losing. It's a distance control thing because I've changed my swing, and I'm just not sure 100% on my distances, which I've done the gap test and I feel way more confident about that. So if we plus it out to outside 100 yards in the last few rounds, these were very poor shots. These were like kind of like snap hook kind of things, and these were just short. Um, and these ones here, I can remember that fella and that fella. That was just poor club selection. That was just not knowing what was the right shot for me. Um, if you look at scoring, so on average, I'm 1.02 on every hole, which is not like that bad. But if we look at the last 5 rounds, I'm improving on my average, which is good. If you look at putting, so putting overall in my last, like that's two putts per hole, pretty much. Like that's it's not bad, but it's just it can be so much better. Like I play the same course every week. I should know the greens. I should know their speed. I should have a lot more confidence with that. Like I should be nailing these putts. My last few rounds, I don't know because I haven't been practicing putting. The putting stats have gone up, and it's not good. It's not what you want. So game golf in a way like it massively highlights where you're lacking. So and you can set little challenges for yourself. So you can set challenges where you want to like bump up your greens regulations. You can do your putts per hole. You can set a goal and try to achieve it. Um, these are all challenges that people have made up that you can join with them. Um, loads of little things you can just make them up. So you can go putts per hole, set a goal. You can play little competitions with people. Like you can add your friends and stuff like that. So oh no, so I want. That's not what I want. How is it what I want? Yeah. So it's cool as well because you can follow. You can follow. I'd like to get that down to like 80. That'd be great. You can follow different people. So I follow. There's a couple of people that are just standard. You can't unfollow them. I think, or you can. I just don't follow. But the main person I follow is I look at what my brother's doing. Rory Anderson from Mark Crossfield's videos. He puts up a lot of stuff. It's really good. Because he's a 7 handicap, so you kind of really see where he gains and where he loses, and the difference of him playing in his home course versus the random courses that he play around Europe and stuff like that. I follow Sophie Walker. She's a pro. She's really great to follow because you can see we can see like just on course, like because when you're watching TV, you don't see all the shots. You don't see the the person scrambling back to save pars, to save like to be honest, to save bogeys and stuff like that. So it's cool to watch when she puts stuff up, just to watch her game. So these are my club distances. So they've kind of given you your optimal driver distance, 3 woods, 5 woods, hybrids, stuff like that. You can see clubs that I just do not hit. Took that out of the bag, has put that back in the bag. So my clubs at the minute, I use the drivers an R11S, 3 woods R11S, 5 woods not in my bag anymore. A hybrids, I bought a new Cobra. I have that down to like 16.5, so it's kind of like a power hybrid. It very low trajectory, so it really works for me in C point. That's my 22-degree hybrid. I feel very confident hitting that. That kind of replaces my kind of 4 iron kind of thing, that kind of distance. So the 5 irons back in the bag, so I feel more confident hitting it. And then I have the 5, 6, and the 7 in the Clevelands, and then I've bought Mizuno MP69, so I have 8, 9, and pitching wedge, and I just feel I like hitting them. I feel like really kind of dialed in when I'm hitting them. I don't know what it is. And when you hit a great shot with them, they feel nice. I like you feel you get a lot more kind of feedback off centered hits, which I kind of use them as nearly like a training aid. So like if I'm hitting an off centered hit with this, I don't really know how off center it was. I know it's different, but with these, it's like big alarm bells going off where you've hit bad shot. So I've removed my sandwich, which is a 52 degrees. So now I have a 50-degree TaylorMade, a 56, and a 60 degree. Now these yardages are very different now to what they were, because I used to deal off the club a lot. So these will come down a good bit, maybe 10 yards each. And then I've done a new gap, a wedge chart for these. So I have to do the wedge chart for the 60 degree, because I think that's going to be like kind of like around the green kind of shot. Like when I have like that 35, 40 yards maybe shot where I need to just land it in a certain spot and roll out. That's going to be the club that I use. I feel quite confident in that. I got a new putter. It's a Odyssey O Works putter. It's just kind of the kind of, what do you call it? It's like an anvil shape. It's not the big massive 2-ball one. It's not like a blade. It has a little curve on it. I like it. I feel very confident hitting it. So that's my game golf at the minute. I'll show you around just to see what it looks like. So the way it works is it shows you all your hits. So that was a really good hybrid. It was straight into wind, and then I completely topped it and went like 41 yards. Zoom out. And that was another same hybrid again. Um, Same hybrid again. 200 yards. It was down the hill. Obviously landed around here and just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. It was a nice little wedge in 66 yards, and then a 1 putt, I do believe. No, 2 putt. Damn. So it's kind of cool because you can look back and you can see rounds, and you can see how well you've scrambled and stuff like that. But it's you really need to get into the rhythm of tagging, because if you forget to tag, then you have to go back and you have to try to remember, where did I kind of go on the 13th, and where did I go here, and where did I go there, and it gets very complicated. That was unfortunate. It was a really, really nice strike, and the wind just took it and it just drifted it right. Tried to get it out, couldn't. I think I aimed kind of nearly in the middle of the fairway, and I should have aimed over here because of the way that it was going to catch in the grass. That wasn't a bad shot, but could have been better. But it's very interesting to look at your round and see the stats and the numbers. It's really, really cool. But yeah, that's just an idea of a round. Hopefully, rounds will get better. And then a recap, I want to get my fairway accuracy up into the 50%, average score down to around 80, and I want to get my putts per hole back down to like the 1.6 kind of time. Scrambling, I need to improve on that a lot. I seem to just get back on and 2-putt, so I don't get my stats on that. But that's my game golf at the minute, and I hope it's going to improve in the next couple of months, and I can bring my game golf handicap down and my actual handicap down. So hope you found that interesting.